What's going on, guys, and welcome back. We finally got some news for Season of Discovery Phase 4, and some of it sounds really good. You're going to be surprised. Let's dive in. Alright, so this was posted less than an hour ago on Wowhead, and the title is Season of Discovery Developer Update Phase 3 Extended and Phase 4 Preview. So the post starts out by Blizzard saying, "Greetings. The team has been hard at work on Season of Discovery and Cataclysm Classic. There's a lot happening in Classic right now, and while we've been working incredibly hard, we've also been fairly quiet. So we felt it would be a good time to provide an update on a few things, including Season of Discovery Phase 4. The next section of this post is titled Phase 4 Release Update. Cutting straight to it, and as you have no doubt likely noticed, the World of Warcraft team has been delivering a lot of exciting content lately, and this will, of course, continue well through the next few months and beyond. As such, to land Phase 4 at just the right time. Our current phase, Phase 3, is going to last longer than previous Season of Discovery content phases. We can't share Phase 4's release date just yet, and we know this news and the longer Phase 3 might be disappointing to some, but our timeline will ensure that our Classic team delivers an experience worthy of our players at the high-quality bar we are setting for ourselves. We're so very excited to share what's next with you. We also want to make sure that we take the time we need to deliver equally awesome experiences in both Season of Discovery and Cataclysm Classic, and give Cataclysm Classic's launch the time it deserves to breathe, without players feeling the pressure of needing to choose between it and all of the other fun things we have happening in WoW right now. We understand our players love to plan, so we wanted to signal our intentions now and let you know that we intend to share the exact timing of Phase 4's launch and start discussing what it will include as early as it is possible to do so. Phase 4 PTR plans. In a departure from previous phases, we will spin up a limited PTR specifically focused on combat and class testing for Phase 4. We plan to include level 60 templates with all runes and abilities learned, and we tentatively plan to provide some sort of access to level 60 tier set bonuses. We also plan to provide access to training dummies and some raid content as well as battlegrounds, so that players can test out all their new builds. Again, our intent with this PTR is to focus on combat and class testing, and we will not be using it to test the unique content coming with Phase 4. We've received an enormous amount of class feedback from players, and we're very excited for the level 60 runes to be discovered as well as our revamped tier sets. We're investing heavily into class adjustments going into Phase 4, and while perfect balance is not the goal, we do want to look at classes, specs, and runes that are underperforming and find opportunities to make as many improvements as we can. Many classes will see substantial redesigns going into the level 60 endgame, with some runes moving around and others becoming baseline skills. We're excited for players to jump in to play around with these substantial adjustments and participate in the feedback loop with us ahead of Phase 4 hitting live realms. We'll share more information on our testing schedule very soon. Level 60 content phases. One common question we've been asked is, how will the various raid tiers roll out at level 60? And we want to provide some clarity and let everyone know that we will be rolling raids out in phases similar to how we did in 2019's Classic. The first tier will consist of Molten Core and Onyxia, and a few weeks after that we will see Blackwing Lair followed by Zul'Gurub, with additional endgame content and surprises that we're planning to add between the major raid tier releases as well. For ease of communication, we intend to frame our releases around the familiar original WoW raid tiers. Sunken Temple adjustments incoming. One consistent piece of feedback we received is that the rewards from Sunken Temple have been a bit underwhelming. During our design and testing of Phase 3, we didn't entirely know the scale and scope of adjustments we'd make to the level 60 dungeon gear, Tier 1 item sets, and Molten Core and Onyxia gear. Now that we have a good idea about those, we think it makes sense to increase the power of some of the Sunken Temple gear. These updates will particularly focus on caster gear, which feels the most underpowered. We'll let you know when we've got this ready to implement in the live game. We want to again express a heartfelt thanks to our passionate players. We've had a blast playing Season of Discovery with you, and now in Cataclysm Classic's pre-patch, we can't wait to get more exciting Classic content into your hands very soon. Thank you, the WoW Classic development team. So that is a doozy, guys. We've actually finally got some information. It's been silent for weeks, and we know the Classic team has been extremely busy, right? We all know that. We can't deny it. They are super busy with Cataclysm coming out on Monday and Season of Discovery Phase 3 happening right now, probably still working on Phase 4. So this is pretty big. So we actually got a lot of answers to some questions here. And one thing I want to bring up is the PTR. Now, myself and a lot of other people included have been saying, like, we do need some form of a PTR so that this stuff doesn't get released completely broken, much like what we've seen happen in previous phases in Season of Discovery. So that's one thing that's going to be fixed. There will be a PTR, and you know I will be on there testing everything that I can for you guys to test out all of these class abilities, all of these new builds for classes, checking out what abilities are getting moved to baseline, what's going to be, you know, buffed as runes. It's going to be really good going forward for when the phase launches live. Those changes can already be in place, which is a great thing, and I think that is seriously a step in the right direction. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I remember back at the start of Season of Discovery, they didn't want to do PTR because they wanted to leave the sense of discovery up to the players to, you know, experience everything. The way that they plan to do this PTR, they said specifically it's focused on class tuning, combat, battlegrounds, and a little bit of raiding, which I think is the perfect way to do it. We're still going to have to find our runes and figure out all the new content that they put into the phase, so I personally think it's a great idea. Now, hearing the news that Phase 3 has been extended, you know, while it sounds like kind of like, oh, that kind of stinks, it's not that big of a deal because we do have Cataclysm Classic dropping on Monday. Now, for anyone who's not playing Cataclysm, this probably sucks a little bit more for you, and it does suck, but to be completely honest, I think it's the right move. I'd rather them take the time and we go through this PTR and do everything right, give Cataclysm Classic Phase 1 a little bit of time to breathe so that the player base isn't completely split. And I just think it's going to be overall healthy for both versions of the game. Now, we've gotten answers to the level 60 content phases. It's going to roll out similar to 2019's Classic, but they said similar in the article, and I want to point out one thing that they said. The first tier will consist of Molten Core and Onyxia, and a few weeks after that, we will see Blackwing Lair followed by Zul'Gurub. So when they say similar, they mean it's going to roll out in the same way, right? Like Molten Core and Oni will be first, Blackwing Lair, then Zul'Gurub, but the time frame between these releases is definitely going to be accelerated, as they said here, a few weeks, just because this is a seasonal server, so that does make sense. And then it also said additional endgame content and surprises that we're planning to add between the major raid tier releases as well. So that means that between Molten Core and Onyxia and the Blackwing Lair phase, we could be getting something completely new, which it sounds like that's what's happening, and that, in my opinion, is a huge plus. And now, aside from that, we're getting some Sunken Temple adjustments. This is something that people have been saying since before the phase even went live, right? Before Phase 3 even launched, when we got the data mines and saw the gear, we were like, wow, this is not that strong, especially the caster gear feels really, really underwhelming. So this is a pretty good change. They're going to buff that up quite a bit, they said, so hopefully we can kind of get some casters doing some DPS in Phase 3 and see how that goes, depending on how well they buff it. But all in all, a really great post from Blizzard. I'm excited that we got this. It's Friday. Good day to let it out, you know, letting us know that they're still here. We do know that they're super, super busy. I love to see this. This kind of got me hype. Season of Discovery's kind of been in the gutter lately in a lot of people's opinion. It's been very down. It's a very low time for SOD. And getting this information, hearing that we're going to have a PTR, getting a little bit of news is just a great thing. So I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those post notifications. We're so close to 10K subs on this channel. We're like 400 away. We need to hit that by the end of the month. Help me out. Get there. And if you guys want to hang out with me live on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance, link in the description below. And also, if you guys want to join an awesome community Discord full of like-minded people who all enjoy geeking out over Season of Discovery, Cataclysm Classic, all the classic WoWs, join the Discord, link in the description below as well. We're also on Lone Wolf Alliance. When we do play Phase 4 of Season of Discovery, we will be recruiting, so if you're Alliance on Lone Wolf, join the Discord, hit us up. We're going to get you in the guild. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.